Welcome once again to... Yes! How can I help? Yeah. This is, I believe, the 24th episode, so we're, next one will be celebrating a quarter of a century of episodes of helping you with your shitty little problems. Sorry, but it's quite cold now. It was very warm when we began this series back in the summer. Now it's quite cold, so I've decided today's will be a high-energy episode.
And you're in what is this?
You were close to saying the word, you backed out of it. I am delighted to say that there was a little bit of mixed response to the suit which I wore last time. This is the loudest whisper I can muster! And there's fuck all we can do about it. Evil is everywhere! Breast. Many people admired it, a few of them in a pervy fashion. Breast. But other people said that it reminded them, unfortunately, of Donald Trump, especially because I had the misfortune to be wearing a red tie. Well, it wasn't misfortune, I put the tie on. Anyway, this week it's not a jumper, nor a suit, but this, I'm going to say the word. I'm going to say it with the confidence that it perhaps doesn't deserve. Shacket. This is a shacket. It is both a shirt and a jacket.
Got people looking at us then.
Well, they're right to look at us.
Yeah.
It has the sort of comfort of the consistency, I suppose you'd say, the material integrity of a jacket, and yet it sort of fits like a shirt, functions like a shirt. It is, as I say, I'm not going to keep saying it, a shacket. Just quickly, several people reported in the comments that they, contrary to my wisdom, motorbike learning to ride a bike. Not very good yet, but he's learning all the time. Well, he might be good at it, don't know. Looks all right, actually. Better than I do, probably.
Let it go.
Another learner. Everyone here is a shitty driver. None of these people know what they're doing. Good. Well, the combination of Alex walking backwards and everyone being a learner driver should be another fun episode.
I'm going to get hit.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm implying, Alex. And much as I don't want that to happen, we know there's an appetite for it in the comments.
People are foaming for it.
I'll just say several people said in the comments that they have never been naked. If that's true, just give it a try. One time, just whip them all off and see what's down there. You might be pleasantly surprised. All right, it'll be 10 minutes on the clock, and this is unusual, but
I remember.
I've been rambling for so long that Alex has remembered to put 10 minutes on the clock.
About 3 minutes.
All right.
And we're going. All right.
And our first question, and lovely to see some new names among the questioners, as there often are, actually. Watch the leaves, watch the leaves.
Watch the leaves.
The leaves are just obfuscating the edge of the curb. Another danger for Alex.
Fun word.
And we are in a high-energy episode. Why is the scaling for voice amplification all wrong? 1 megaphone does not equal 1 million phones, nor does it equal 1 trillion microphones. Should we change the prefixes so they make sense? Or nah? Yes, I like this idea for innovation. I'm going to propose that the voice should just be called the voice. A microphone should be called the big voice, and the megaphone should be called the ultra voice. Why has it been so long since they introduced a new card suit? Getting bored of the same old four. Me too. And I've had a word very recently with, his name isn't Mr. Cards, but the man who makes all the cards. It is a man, I'm not being sexist. And he agrees with you. And so as of next year, all new packs of cards will contain, as well as your spades and clubs, diamonds and hearts, scissors. You'll get the 4 of scissors, the 8 of scissors, and so on. There'll be 5 suits. It will change, among other things, the game of bridge, and it will be a challenge for magicians as well, who will have more cards to choose from when they're doing their spooky shit. This reminds me a little bit of a walk I took and it's...
Oh, dog.
Dog, yes. I mean, it's almost, well, it must have been a dream, but I felt I was walking around here and there were these 2 sinister presences, and they kept sort of... Sorry, it will have been a dream.
There's also one sinister referee exactly at this point, running around,
and that's the opposite
chasing
of a learner.
birds.
That's a person that doesn't even
That's
use his
a guy
hands on the
that
bike.
doesn't even...
If you had to say what the opposite of a learner driver is an overconfident driver. You don't ever wish injury on anyone, but I hope he comes off his bike. Just scrapes his chin. If you fancy it, my niece would like to know who the first ever baby was. It was Charles Darwin. Until Darwin, all people arrived fully clothed and about this size and about 30. Darwin, because he's been a baby, which was humiliating at the time because there'd never been one before, and then he was a kid and he was littler than everyone, but this is how he came up with the theory of evolution. The evolution in his own body and brain suggested to him that mankind has not always been in a sort of constant state. And Charles Darwin was also... No, I can't tell you that, it's too dangerous. Somebody told me that multitasking is a myth and not actually possible, but I didn't believe them because I was also playing Wordle during our conversation. How many things can a person successfully do simultaneously? I think the most things a person can do simultaneously is... Yeah, well, let's try it, shall we?
I haven't done Wordle today.
Oh, hang on.
Should we both do Wordle?
I have done it, and it's unbelievably difficult. You will struggle.
Oh, no!
But I'm also going to see how many things I can do at the same time.
Okay.
I'm going to... Well, let's see. So jumping is a thing.
Yep,
Hang on
one.
a minute, though, that's one thing. Jumping, well, holding
You got to do it
is a
at the
thing.
same time.
Yeah, so, right, jumping.
Technically walking.
Holding, thinking. I've dropped that, though. Nonetheless. Jumping, throwing, holding, thinking. That's 4 things. I think that's the most things you probably can do, unless...
And I'm going sweet.
Hang on. Well, seeing, though. So jumping, seeing, thinking, catching. It's only 4 things. I wonder if I have a leaf, whether that will... Because you can do several things simultaneously with a leaf. Jumping, catching, crinkling, holding, thinking, seeing. So that's 6 things. So you can actually... A person can do at least 6
Breathing.
things. And breathing! 7 things! There's the answer. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things! And if you're doing any fewer than 7 things as you watch this, you are wasting your precious time on this planet. Do more things! Even if you're doing 4 things, you ought to be doing 3 more. Why do they never dance to the shipping forecast on Strictly Come Dancing? It's because there is very, very rarely a maritime theme, to my knowledge, and certainly not and there's also very rarely a late night Radio 4 theme. If it ever happens on Strictly that they say, this week, it's all about safe shipping, then perhaps we'll see it happen. There also haven't been many, to my knowledge, famous sailors or seamen, not seamen, but seamen on. Thank you, Alex. On the you stood in Wordle.
Yeah.
You couldn't have picked a worse day to try and do this.
This is a killer.
I barely knew the word.
Oh no! I'm not going to know the word then.
I'd be surprised, not because I think I'm cleverer than you, but it's a peculiar old word.
But it's likely.
Yeah. Well, also, you're young. You're young. You've only just learnt the word for grass. Yeah, that's right. He's learned it. It's right down there. And now you're really confident there. Straight for it, you went. Oh, we're having fun with this high energy episode. Alex,
Halfway
how long
through.
to go? Well, it's bad.
4:48.
Oh, that was one of my best ever ones.
Well done.
I'm really on form. Fine show. Loved the surroundings. That was a Barbican, of course. Pressing question. How do you get a tradesperson to get back to you? Funnily enough, I think the answer is, and you might not like this, you got to ring the bastards on the phone.
Yeah?
If somebody's plumbing and they're fixing let's be honest, toilet, so they're sort of up to here in poo, or they're painting a wall, or if someone's working with their hands, I suppose I'd call them, then they don't like to be faffing about with text. They're less likely to be on their emails because they're standing up. You ring them on the phone.
But they'll take a call.
They'll take a call more often than not. Now, as I say, many of us don't enjoy using the phone, and you certainly don't enjoy using the phone to ring a real person and say something like, hello, I need you to fix my window. But if it's ever worth using the phone, it's worth calling a tradesperson.
Ciao.
Don't, however, use the phone just to ring your friend in the middle of the day and your friend thinks there is a terrible emergency. And then you just say, I just wanted to check that we're going to the Harvester tonight. Are there plans for a live walking audience episode or nah? We have actually talked before about doing one of these with a very small, select audience walking around with us. It would have to be small because, for one thing, not everyone can cut it. The audience would probably be walking backwards with Alex rather than forwards with me. And we've seen, Alex makes it look easy at times, but we've seen...
No, I think they have to be, because otherwise how are we going to get them in the camera? They have to be behind you.
Following me like a pack of hounds.
Yeah.
I see. Well, in that case, it'll be even more select because there's certain people on this thing that I wouldn't necessarily want right breathing down my neck, if I may use that phrase. But yes, we will do it. We will do it. Unfortunately, whoever asked the question, it will be at a time which is inconvenient to you. And not as a deliberate policy. I just have I just know.
You
everything,
know.
don't I? I know everything. I've read all the books. Point here. What's more satisfying, throwing a cream egg at a wall or a water balloon? By far the water balloon. The cream egg is much smaller than you think. It might be sort of, it might feel substantial when you've stuffed it in your trap.
Ooh.
But if you chucked it at a wall, it would make, I think, a very surprisingly, disappointingly small splodge, if I can use the word splodge. Now, you chuck a water bottle at a wall, we're starting to talk about an actual explosion. Also, I like cream eggs, and I would feel dissatisfied to see one squandered in that way. Water balloon, what are you going to do? Just drink all the water in the balloon? No! Of course not. How long to go, Alex?
2 minutes.
Oh, we're going to get to the tunnel. We're going to get to the tunnel.
We're going to make it out easily.
If you're a regular viewer, you might remember this occasion. There's a tunnel. I don't think a cat can read. Hello, Mark. Why are things different? Hello. Get a nice smile from that guy. Yes, and a wave even. Away from the old guy now.
Well,
runner
he's
and all
cycling.
sorts.
Bloody
That was
hell.
really nice. The old guy, it wasn't even that old, but it was a proper smile and then a wave from him. Jolly cyclist. That is the jolliest cyclist we've possibly ever had. Some of them miserable old pricks. Some of them try to mow Alex down. Hello, Mark. Why are things different sizes? Thank you. Oh, they've written than you. Than you? Why are things different sizes than you? But I think it's meant to be thank you, just a separate line. Well, ooh, singing cyclist. We're absolute motley crew of bikers today.
Guy on the phone. Whatever that is.
So an odd vehicle of some kind is inching towards
It's
ominous
they're
light.
moving at quite a pace.
In fact, we're going to just probably stand out of the way of this.
Yeah, let him go through.
I think it's the first mobility vehicle we've had. Why are
Crazy.
these different sizes? Well, because, for example, imagine you're playing football, but the football was the size of a Brussels sprout. It would be very difficult to control it or keep track of it. But if the football was as big as, say, a hot air balloon, it'd be too difficult for other reasons. If you were eating a carrot, but the carrot was as big as the Louvre in Paris, that would be very inconvenient. But if you were eating a carrot that was no bigger than that, then well, no, that'd be fine actually. But the point is, you have to have things different sizes. You have to look at the thing there.
Whoa.
Now imagine that was as big as as long as a fully grown alligator, or even a freshwater crocodile. It was too big, unwieldy. But if it had only been the length of this, again, they wouldn't both fit on it. So everything is a size so that it works properly. And that's all that
And
we're
that's
doing.
time.
And that is time, actually. Woof. Well, we haven't got time to get on to whether I've ever pretended to be a unicorn using a cornetto.
And I'm only 3 guesses deep on the wordle.
Yeah, and I'll tell you
I mean,
once
that's
again,
just not a
you're in
word.
for all sorts of difficulties. Les difficultés. This has been, and I tell you what, I've really enjoyed this invigorating, high-octane clop through South London. If you have, please interact with the content. Now, there are various ways you can do that. I'm sure you're no strangers to the process. One of the best ways is to leave comments in the form of questions. All of these questions were, as it were, harvested. In fact, not even as it were. They were all harvested from last week's episode. And more and more these days, actually, we have so many questions that we're able to spin them straight into the next episode. And there are, once again, a few sloshing about in my trousers there. So we'll try and get on to that and address some of the backlog, but do keep the questions coming. Sometimes I put a call out on Twitter. For the first time this week, or rather last week, I shared the episode on Blue Sky, the new alternative version of Twitter. If you're not on Blue Sky, I recommend it. Thank you for watching. Yes, how can I help? That's an example of young people, and they will have already watched this, because if there's one thing young people like, it's the internet. And if there's one thing I want to make young people, it's happy. If they're the right young people. No, it has to be. It has to be. All right, bye.
Sorry. Look at him go.
I used to be able to do that before my tendonitis.